your home with BuildAid on Mix 93.8. Proudly brought to you by AfriSam. AfriSam, creating concrete possibilities.
BuildAid on Mix 93.8 FM. Good evening. My name is Graham Alexander. On the desk, as usual, our local architect, Simon Cretney, and Kay, who's going to look after all of us. And what are we chatting about tonight?
Well, the first thing I have to say for all the Star Wars fans out there is May the 4th be with you. It's a thing. Don't look at me strangely. Tonight, well, it's getting chilly and there's crispness in the air. Winter's almost upon us. So we have an autumn song in mind and we want to know if you can guess which one it is. So just think about leaves going brown, the leaves turning, red trees and that sort of thing. If you can think of the song, I'm going to give you any...
You've already given it away.
Oh, you see? It's an easy one tonight. There you go. So if you know which song we're talking about, SMS us on 41348 and you can win some delicious mortar ice cream. And I know it's chilly, but you're still going to love the ice cream, for sure.
You may have to come up with 2 clues.
I have other clues.
Okay.
I have other clues. The other thing you can win as well, and you'll learn about what this is, 2 of you can win a roll of Easyflash. That doesn't mean that you can go and flash and it will make it easy for you. You just keep listening and we'll let you know what it is.
My name is Graham Alexander. I'm going to be chatting to Willem Grove. He's the marketing manager at Monier Coverland. Willem, thanks for coming to chat to us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Just a little bit about Monier Coverland. I think anybody that's in the building industry will immediately recognize both of those names, or brands if you like, particularly the Coverland brand, because you've been in the roofing or roof tile business for how long?
We've been with the oldest roof tile manufacturer in South Africa. We started in 1949. So we've got some heritage in this country, and there's a lot of roofs out there that's been around for that long.
So if you've got a home that's around 70 years old, you probably got a Coverland roof tile on there.
Most likely, yes.
How did Monier get involved?
Well, Monier's, we were part of Lafarge roofing for a while, and when we got sold off by Lafarge, a new company, we've got bought out by these massive lot of investors, banks and so on, and they started this company called Monier. It's now called the Brass Monier Building Group. It's located in Germany. Well, the head office is in Germany. We're a Luxembourg-based company, and we've got manufacturing sites in 40 countries around the world, so which is amazing. So we're part of this nice, huge multinational, great learnings, great industry insights to tap into, and which is great for us as Coverland, the South African brand of the Monier or the Brass Monier Building Group.
You probably won't answer this question, Willem, but some of these huge conglomerates, do they slow you down sometimes with innovation, or if you're in your own country and you've got your own challenges?
I think they push us for innovation. It's sometimes it's the country that slows it down, but we find other ways of doing it, and we will talk through some of those things tonight. From a tile point of view, and some of the other unique products we have in our stable.
Willem, the first thing I want to do is to talk about one of your products that we're giving away this evening, so that everybody knows what it is. Okay,
sure.
As Kirsten sort of implied, it has an interesting trade. Easyflash.
Yeah, it's not those people that go to the cricket ground after a few years onto the cricket pitch. No, you might have seen it in your local homemakers fair publication that gets dropped off. You might even have been exposed to it on the internet last year. It's basically it's a peel and stick flashing product. A lot of people, in your abutment walls, where your roof meets a wall, there's always a bit of leaking coming through there. And this product is designed in Germany. It's been around for 20 odd years there, and it's a peel and stick. It's like a Band-Aid, for your roof. So easy to apply. We've got a YouTube video on our Coverland channel. You can go have a look at it, and you can see how easy it is to apply. And it saves you so much time. It's a DIY product. You can do it yourself.
Okay.
And it's an amazing product.
The place that you said you'd find it, abutment walls, etc., I guess around chimneys is probably, if you do have a chimney,
Yeah.
that's another place you find this galvanized sheeting or metal sheeting, sometimes flash harry, something that's been painted on. These are the areas we're talking about.
That's correct. A lot of times you've got this issues where your roof leaks around a chimney and these type of walls where where these flashings sort of start wearing, and this type of product, Easyflash, is easy to apply around those walls. It molds to the tile. It's got 60% stretch, and you can paint straight over it. So if you've got a green roof, you put a black product on there, you can paint straight over that to match your roof color.
Willem, your role at Coverland?
Yeah, I'm the marketing manager, as you said. So I look after the marketing of the Coverland brand as such. And then I also have this interesting role of looking. I'm the component manager for South Africa. So components is all the stuff that you sell with your roof tiles, and that keeps me quite busy because there's obviously new challenges and new products, and it's a fun job, I think, and
Interesting combination.
Love
Components manager, marketing manager, but I suppose knowing your product helps,
It does.
or how it works.
And it keeps me on my toes because you get lots of different questions from architects all the time. What about this? And especially new legislation, there's always a trick up somebody's sleeve and a new angle that they're looking at at a problem.
Sometimes we don't realize how many components there could be with something. They think it's just a roof tile. There are probably a lot more than we think.
Yes, when you start adding it, it's obviously it's your ridge tiles, and how do they get fixed? It's underlays that go underneath your tile. How does your tile stay on the roof? Are there nails? Are there storm clips? So there's a lot of other things. Easyflash is a whole different angle on a different product that's added to the stable as well.
Yeah.
And there's many more.
Yep. And we're going to chat about nails and the like in just a mo. We were talking about concrete tiles before the break, and I think the perception immediately of a concrete tile, you think, hold on, how can that be made of concrete? Some people call them cement tiles. Some people don't even know what they are. How do you make a concrete tile, Willem?
It's pretty simple. It's pretty similar to making a cement mix, for a floor. That it's similar ingredients: water, fine sand, some coarse sand, and all this gets mixed together with some pigment in this big, we call it a hopper, that gets dropped onto these. It's almost like a baking tray, but it's got the form of the tile, and that gets extruded and put in a big sort of oven. Well, it's not actually an oven. It does get heated quite a bit. Your concrete reacts as naturally and heats up these curing chambers, and that's how your concrete tiles gets cured. And from there, within a day, they get taken out into the yard, taken off these little pallets, put on a pallet, or proper pallet, like a wooden pallet, put in the yard for a couple of days where they cure before we ship them out to you to put on your roof.
Okay, so not all concrete has to have big stones in it.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I think the perception is that
Yes.
concrete's mixed with stones. Obviously, concrete is mixed with different aggregates,
That's
which
correct,
is the
yeah.
size of your, call it stone. It could be a little stone and a big
Correct.
stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like like I said, your cement mix for your paving that you want to put down, those type of things.
Yeah. And if you have a coated tile, because I think something that's important for us to understand is that they're not cement colored. I think most people might see them as a sort of terracotta finish, but you can make them any color, can't you?
Yes, we can. Yeah, we blend a pigment into we call them through color tiles. So that it's a body color. So the color throughout the tile will be the same color. That'll be either a green or a terracotta or a dark gray or a black. That's your standard tiles. We also have what's called a farmhouse finish. So you have it like a dark tile, like let's call it a brown tile, and we throw like a speck of dust on top of it, and it gives us like a black mark, and it gives you sort of that old farmhouse look on your roof tile.
A lot of the homes in Johannesburg, particularly around Parktown North, and I know you live in the area, have clay tiles. And the famous sort of, and I don't know if they're all Marseille tiles, but they were Marseille tiles. And there were years and years you couldn't get them. So if you wanted to do an alteration on your home, you had a problem. but you guys are importing a Marseille tile.
Yes, we've been importing them for quite a while, and they are most of the time they might even fit into it with the current style that you have, but it's always difficult to see, what happens. You've got a roof that's 30, 40, 50 years old. You bring a new product, they don't look the same. Even maybe it's also a terracotta tile. So if you really need to do an extension or an addition to your house, we always say try and move use the new tiles on the new section, or if you can't really do it, put the new tiles maybe where it's visible, so on the street side. So you can, the older tiles you move to the back of the roof, and then you can keep some spare as well if you've got some left. I know there are also a lot of guys that do salvage work, and you can buy those tiles from them. If you're really in a pickle, but they don't come cheap though.
Just a quick note here before we close, and I've got to shoot back to Kay to see who the winners are. Is that a conventional ordinary tile costs about 80 Rand per square meter?
Yeah.
And your elite coated top of the range costs 120 Rand. So call it 80 Rand, 120 Rand. You don't have to be a rocket scientist when you compare that to floor coverings, ceilings, walling. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot, and you get a unique look.
Yeah. Willem, thank you so much for coming to chat to us.
Pleasure.
And I look forward to doing it again.
100%.
We're going to go back to Kay now and find out who are the winners.
Okay, well, the answer was California Dreaming, mamas and papas. Well done to all of you who got it right. We've got Margie, Mark, and Jonathan who are winners tonight. Margie and Jonathan, get your Easyflash, and Mark, just because you're so cool, we're going to send you some ice cream as well.
Thanks to Kay and Nonhlanhla that we didn't mention was actually driving the desk while Simon Cretney was looking after her. And Ian Jackson is the video man filming the whole thing. And my guest was Willem Grove. Thank you, guys. Up next is Adam Ford Mustang and Motoring in the Mix. We do this every Wednesday between 6 and 7. Chat to you next week. Ciao.
With BuildAid on Mix brings you all sorts of interesting info about building. Graham Alexander chats to different guests every Wednesday evening between 6 and 7. Proudly brought to you by AfriSam. AfriSam, creating concrete possibilities.